Hey, 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 this is Thomas Wright from Rootbrain, and you're watching This is Metal Show.
And who else do we have with us? Thomas, your bandmate,
Hmm.
Jules.
What's up?
And you guys are, of course, from Rootbrain. And I should tell folks that we're all these different crazy time zones. And we got up super early, 9 a.m. my time. I'm in Los Angeles. Tom is in New York, of course. And the band Rootbrain, Thomas and Jules, are come to us from Finland, which I understand it's 12 noon where you guys are. So we were so honored to have you guys come on the show and kind of help shine a light on the band, which you really don't need our help, but you guys are just a great up and coming metal band. So let's start off talking about, is there much of a metal scene in Finland where you guys are from?
Yes, yes, Finland is a metal country to the bone, so it's kind of like the national genre of music in Finland, and it's yeah, in good
Yeah,
and bad. It's kind of lost its bite and edge in Finland because
I
they
think
play.
Rootbrain's going to kind of put the bite back in the metal scene, maybe, we hope. And I should share with you guys, my co-host Tom, he's in a band held hostage, New York-based band. They've been around, held hostage for 40 years. So he's a musician himself. So I got to ask you, Tom, um, what was your first response when you heard some of the Rootbrain music?
Okay, so the Mothertomb song. So with the name Rootbrain, I thought these guys would just come out and be straight death metal. So
Yeah,
I love when I'm shocked
yeah,
because
yeah.
I was shocked. What a great tune, very well structured and stuff like that. It wasn't what I expected, and that really turns me on. I hear something like that. Plus, I'm president of a record label, so I listen to it differently. But I just thought it had all the aspects of a great song, the great melody. It had a build into it. It went up. It had highs, lows. I mean, very good. Let's talk about the writing of that song. Who wrote that song?
Well, it got initiated by acoustic guitar like pattern by our guitar player Helle. He played it. It's basically like the first half of the verse, and then I took that and then I kind of built the whole song around that, and then of course Jules made pretty much all the vocal arrangements, which are in a we gave a lot of room for them, so very much mutual effort. And I
Yeah,
have to
I
mention
knew,
also our drummer, our drummer Fat Tony, who really upped his game for this EP for every song, and he just did really brilliant drum arrangements. Like
yeah,
it's a
I
yeah,
knew
yeah,
it
pleasure
was
to play
a,
yeah.
that.
Go ahead, Jules.
I
What
knew
were you
it was
saying,
a
Jules?
super, yeah, I knew it was a super important song for Sami, who was also writing the song, and then it was Thomas who came up with a lot of the arrangements of the song that was coming out of Sami's hands. So I knew that this is important. This is a really important song and has a deeper meaning to it. So I actually automatically, when I heard the song, this was okay. I love this song. This is going to be something that is going to be easy to for me to also build vocals and also write something like actually meaningful. So it was really easy to connect with.
And
Excellent.
the reason I mentioned to you guys that Tom's in a band and he's a fellow musician is because when I was reading the press release on the new EP, one of the things stood out to me. I think it said that this was the first time the band actually went in a studio with a full band, and he's been in a band, like I said, for 40 years, and they've never had like the same lineup, like so constantly changing members. So what was that like to kind of have a complete band for the first time going into the studio?
Well, it was it was awesome, really.
Yeah.
I I don't know what else to
Yeah,
say.
anyone else?
Compare.
And like Tom
Yeah, I
said,
mean,
Mothertomb, I think, is a great way to kind of introduce this EP because um, you probably feel like you're still kind of finding the band sound. And I think when people hear that, like 10 years down the line, it's going to be something like, for example, Number of the Beast, Iron Maiden. It's one of those songs, 10 years down the line, people will be pointing to like, that's a classic. That's where this band, got their start, where I first was exposed to the band.
yeah, I think because we already knew when we were entering the studio now this time as with a complete lineup because the first album was basically made as a trio with Thomas, Sami, and Tony. So it was this time so much easier to actually arrange everything because we had the full lineup. So actually, this is probably the most complete recordings that we have made so far because of this fact. Because when I joined the band during the recordings of the first album, all the songs were already recorded, so I just needed to basically make my vocal arrangements uh, for the songs that were already like done and recorded. So it was kind of like an easy task for me to, because I couldn't change anything. But this time we had more time to actually build the arrangements and do stuff together, which is always better in my opinion when you have talented people in the band who can all deliver something riff wise or composing songs or making material or just arranging songs. So I think this is a great strength we have, and we actually notice now that we have so much potential and capacity coming from those aspects.
So, like, when you guys were a three-piece band, did you play live shows together?
As a three-piece, no, that was just the very initiation of the. It was like 2017 or something when
we're finding your roots and kind of creating the sound, if you will, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Well, we just did the album. It was basically that I just started come up with shitload of music, and then I just reserved Santura studio that, hey, we're just gonna come and
because I can also tell you guys, this is a good problem to have. You know, probably my only complaint I got is I wish it was a full length album, but I get it that that's the modern way of doing it, and it's a way to say, hey, check out this band Rootbrain. This is you ain't heard nothing yet, but there's more on the way, and so for that reason alone, I'm excited. You know, I can't wait to see what comes next.
Have you checked the debut album? Because
I have to, but real quick, I want to ask you about. I think it's an older song, a couple years old. You guys did a great cover of the Garbage song, "Fresh Number One." Talk about your decision to cover that. I was kind of curious. Was Garbage like big over there in Finland, or talk a little bit about that?
I don't know if it was any bigger in Finland than
the United States.
Yeah, of course it was in all kinds of, when we still had music videos in the TV even back in the days. But
those good old times.
It's really like it's a big band. But I've always digged. I don't like the most poppy and light-hearted material, but they always have these a bit deeper and darker songs, and I'm really impressed with some of the songwriting that it's so mainstream and kind of a big band, but still they managed to put some really good hooks and arrangements and good melodies, and I dig the band.
And like Mothertomb, I think is a great way to kind of launch the album because or the EP rather, because like I was telling Tom when I heard it when I was first listening to the track, I would describe it as that one track is like metal with melody. Like it's obviously not a power ballad, don't get me wrong, but I could see it be played on metal radio, and get even radio it's not necessarily metal because it's got a beautiful melody to it.
Yeah, why not? It's it was something that everything all the melodies, they didn't come like in this idea that now we're making a hit song that we can put into the radio. No, actually all the melodies they came like just completely naturally and felt fitting with the overall feeling of the song and all of this. So we don't mind, of course, if somebody spins it at a radio.
That's my point. Is it's definitely got a metal sound to it, but it's not. It's like Tom said. People hear Rootbrain, they might expect right away, they're a death metal band, and it's not that. It's not that either. But I love the fact that you don't necessarily have to be a metal fan maybe to listen to this song. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, we just try to make music, and the whole thing. I mean, we came up with the whole black grunge, genre. It was just we just got annoyed basically with how the subgenre stuff. How it's really got out of hand. That there's a million subgenres, and then if you start like we are playing this progress.
So my partner Tom, As a songwriter yourself, Tom, and a riff master on the guitar, what do you think of the guitar sound of the band and the writing?
Again,
Well,
I thought it was structured great there. Just fantastic, really good. The song is an excellent song. It has all the elements of a hit. I mean, it really does. And I'm not just saying it. This song was really, I was surprised, honestly. Well, let's talk a little bit about the whole EP. How many songs are on your EP?
4 songs,
Four
one with the
songs.
cover and 3 own songs.
Okay. And are you releasing them all as singles?
Actually, yes. There's still one single coming, probably in May. But yeah, let's see how we get.
I know a lot of bands do that too. So that's good. So it's good. You have a full, after this, are you following up with a full record or not? You think so? Or you
Yeah,
gonna do, okay,
yeah.
great.
We're writing now, and it's actually there's quite a lot of material, and I think we're gonna, or I don't think, but we are gonna start recording during the summer, but we don't set any exact dates
Sure.
concerning the ready product and the release because we just want to make the best album we can.
One last question. How did you guys end up with our good friend Raquel? We love Raquel. She actually works for our record label. What a great person. How did you guys end up with her as a PR?
Well, we were hooked by the corpse paint. Like Drew knows her, and that's how. And
Yeah, she's a good publicist.
yeah, she's really good.
Yeah, and you guys, before the new album is released, the full length that you were talking about, are you playing out live at all this summer? Or?
Well,
it was a thought that there was some idea maybe to play some shows during this month, but pretty soon actually we decided that now let's just focus on creating.
Mm-hmm.
And this EP works great as some kind of a calling card to get people to know more of the band. And at the same time, we are writing. And as Thomas said, we're gonna record an album during the summer. And we have so much material already, and everybody's getting so excited about that. So we're kind of already shifting our focus completely to the pre-production of the album.
Well,
And
that's great. Yeah.
we're very very excited about that. And so we decided like maybe okay, let's not half-ass any shows. Let's concentrate on the writing process and make the best album possible.
So, like, let me ask you guys about the. I don't know if it's the logo, but Rootbrain, little kind of image. Is that kind of the band's mascot, kind of like Iron Maiden has with like their Eddie mascot? You think you'll use that for future releases, or just for this?
I don't know.
The reason I ask is it's a great image, for
Yeah.
like when I look at it, I'm like, oh, Rootbrain, that fits, Yeah.
Yeah. It's a cool mandrake kind of
Yeah,
thingy. Yeah.
Yeah. So
we could have that on stage.
yeah. I mean, it's something to think about. One of those things that people will associate the band with. Obviously, they should. Rootbrain, that's another interesting, name. Talk about the origins of the name because that's always a great thing to hear. One of the hardest things, obviously, is to come up with a band name.
Yes. Yes. I have a history of playing in many bands with shitty names, but
Oh, well, great, yeah. It'll get people talking at least about the band, if nothing else. Rootbrain, oh wow, that's metal sounding. That's cool. Well, like I said, then I guess the final question I have for you guys, before I throw it back to Tom, is being that you're from Finland, and it's probably quite different there than I'd imagine than here in the United States. But I was curious, growing up, were you more influenced by the bands of your home country, or were you equally influenced by bands from Europe and the United States and all over the rest of the world?
I think I was completely 95% influenced by bands that came from the States
Okay.
or like from North America. I was listening to a lot of well, I guess this is like a classic story for metalheads to become metalheads, but probably this was also true in my part because I fell in love with Metallica, and then of course Megadeth, Pantera, Slayer. And so there you go, basically like all of the bands coming from North America. But then very short after because I started to listen to metal, So I found out all these great Finnish metal bands and also great Swedish metal bands. So you can just widen your approach to metal. So yeah, but for me it completely started with North American bands.
Oh wow. And Tom, anything else you want to ask the guys before we wrap it up for today?
Yeah, absolutely. Just I want to talk a little bit about recording process. There's different ways to do it. Did you guys do it individually? Did you guys do it in separate rooms? How did you guys record this EP here? Because I have different ways that I record my stuff too.
Hmm. On our debut, we took we took a bit of like try to get the live attitude
Yep.
more into it. So there we kind of like played when we were recording the drums, we played with the guitar and bass were in the same room all the time, and we actually kept quite a lot of the basses from there also. So, but this time it was more about the timing and the logistics, and because Jules is most of the year in Brazil and
Oh wow.
and Wright in Germany, and then the three of us are in Finland. So we have to plan these quite carefully. So then this time we ended up doing the drums in Germany first, and then just a couple of weeks later we did the stuff in here at the Temple of Bad Habits. And our plan was to record everything here, everything rest, but then just the guitars with the when we couldn't have all the amps and cabinets here, then we decided that it's better to do that at Santura's studio, where can really bring some life there.
Well, where can people hear your music at? Where can they buy it and hear it? Why don't you tell people where it's streaming services, how they can find you guys? Jules?
All the streaming services. Yeah, you can just where our material is found every major streaming platform, but also you can order our CD, the EP, the CD of the EP from the Corpse Paint Records web store, and we are also planning for the vinyl release, and let's see how's that gonna be, but we have some ideas for it, but we still need to lock up some plans.
Oh, great. And final question for today, guys, before we really let you go. I imagine that since the EP's been released and the lyric video for Mothertomb, you've been probably getting responses from people all around the world. That got to be an amazing feeling that you guys are all the way in Finland and Germany, and people are sending you messages from places around the world you haven't even stepped foot in.
Yeah, it's actually very exciting, because I'm interested in all of this, how this streaming thing works and all these things, because we're a little bit old school generation when it comes to that, and we still think that the band work that you do physically is so important. But of course, then you get excited about numbers.
Yeah.
But for example, where our songs have been listened, like it's incredible, like how far we've reached, and how many people in certain countries are listening to our songs. And it's even more surprising to me that at the moment, like we are being listened equally as much in the United States than in Finland, which is like, it's really good, because the market of course is way more bigger. So yeah, we definitely want to expand those potentials to actually reach those markets more.
And with that being said, we'll end on this. I want to thank you and Jules for coming on the show today. And I just hope that with the release of the next full-length album that you guys are currently working on, that Rootbrain will be taken worldwide. Hope you guys be able to do live shows all over the world. Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah,
that's the idea.
Sounds like a plan. And yeah,
thanks again, you guys. Tom and
Thanks,
I really
guys.
honored having you on our show.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Pleasure.